as it progressed through this arc, it just started to beastify. And I was just like, huh. Like, I was puzzled because it went from being one thing to just being fucking nasty. They find themselves in Thriller Bark, okay? And Thriller Bark is this huge ass fucking like ship, okay? And this shit has like zombies and all this shit all over because there's this doctor named Hogback or whatever that's in there, and he's reviving people to life and everything, the dead to life. And Chopper, he knows of this world-renowned doctor that went missing and everything, so he wants to meet him real bad and everything. He eventually meets him and stuff. He's like awestruck of him, but they eventually find out that this dude Hogback and everything is up to no fucking good. And there's a lot more that meets the eye that's going on with fucking Thriller Bark. But previously, they meet this fucking skeleton that's a musician, and he's been sailing the seas for like fucking 50 years and shit, trying to commit this promise to his to one of his crewmates and everything. At the time, we don't really know what his crewmate is or anything, but at first Luffy sees him like, wow, it's a talking fucking skeleton. Will you be a part of my crew and shit? And everything. You know how Luffy is. He's very eccentric. He's like spontaneous. He's on the spot. Let's go. Let's go. Anyways, everybody gets themselves in there. Nami finds herself to be a prey of this fucking invisible fucking pervert that has like a lion fucking face and shit like that. That wants to marry her and everything. I mean, because she got the curves and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then he actually like licks up fucking Robin also and shit while he's invisible and shit. And Robin's like, someone's trying to fucking grab me and shit. And you just see him slurp up her fucking chest and shit. That shit was fucking funny to me. But anyways, everybody finds themselves in the thick of it. And the whole thing that's going on here is that there's one of the warlords of the sea is actually behind the whole thing, and he has his devil fruit power where he can actually manipulate shadows, and he can actually take your shadow, cut it from you, and implement it into whatever he wants, a puppet, a fucking dead person, whatever. And pretty much there's this huge ass fucking like, I don't know what you want to call it, a giant, an ogre, whatever. It's huger, it's a hell of a lot bigger than any giant you've seen in fucking One Piece, yo. This shit is fucking crazy. This shit has a fucking reputation to uphold. But anyways, eventually they steal Sanji's shadow, they steal Zoro's shadow, and they steal Luffy's shadow, and they put Luffy's shadow in the big ass fucking giant shit that goes by 900 or whatever, or Oz will say. And what happens is when they implement the shadow into people, it actually takes on their characteristics and their kind of, not really their memories, but like their wants and needs and stuff like that, and their characteristics and stuff. So when they first put him on, he's like, meat, I want to eat, and everything. He's like, oh, I want to be the pirate king and all this shit. And he starts fucking everything up and going crazy and all this shit. But eventually over time, he starts being like, you know what, I gotta obey my master. And he sees his master as the one of the warlords of the sea, the guy that can manipulate the shadows and everything. About his name, Mao, something like that. My bad. But what ultimately happens, what switched on the gauge for me, was when Brook killed that spider monkey, son, on that bridge. When he did that shit, and he just landed up there. He was like, the match is already over. I was like, what? What match? And then he takes his sword, puts it in the sheath, and then as soon as he does it, yo, and the blood just gushes out, and then you just see the fucking shadow come out of the fucking spider monkey's mouth and shit. I was like, damn! Now it's time to go in. Now it is time to go in. After Brook did that, I was like, okay, One Piece, it'll be right, son. Man, see, what the deal is that after they take their shadows, they can't kill them. They gotta survive. So they took their actual bodies back to the ship, and they're supposed to be asleep for 2 days. But they were like, look, we gonna go back. Frankie and Robin were the only real survivors that didn't take their shadows. They were like, look, we gonna go back. We gonna get them to wake up, and we gonna do their thing, right? So they go back to the ship, they wake him up, and Luffy's like, okay. Zoro's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Sanji's like, what? My spicy leg is ready, yo! And then they commence a counterattack of epic proportions, yo! That man Luffy goes straight for that Mariah bitch. And then boy ZORO goes straight to help out Brook. Try to get his shit back and challenge that samurai, son. Put in work. And that man Sanji goes ahead and tries to prevent that fucking pervert motherfucker to try to marry goddamn Nami and shit, and that's some funny shit on its own right there, okay? But let's get into this. That man Sanji goes in and puts in work. He goes head to the chapel, the cathedral, whatever, the part of the castle and everything, and then he's like, you know what, I'm pissed off at you, son. And he's talking to this other motherfucker with the lion face that's trying to marry Nami. He's like, I'm pissed off at you. He's like, what kind of vendetta you got with me, yo? I've never met you before in my life. He was like, look, there was only one devil fruit that I have ever wanted, period. And it was like, which one was that? He was like, it's the one that you got, so he can be invisible, so he can peep on chicks in the bath. I was like, yo, Sarge, yo, go put in work. That man trying to be the most epic pervert of all time. Is what it is, people. Is what it is. Sanji put in massive work on this dude. He would have laid him out, period, if it wasn't for fucking Luffy's big ass fucking ogre ass motherfucking shadow over for the fucking it up. But anyways, on the other side of the pendulum, ZORO put in work on top of the rooftop. So that fight was dope. Like, it wasn't stretched out or nothing. It was short, concise, and it was dope. Like, I was like, okay. And then he went ahead, he was like, yo, I like your sword. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, that sword nice. You know what I'm saying? That sword nice. He took that sword, man. He beat him, man. He got his sword and everything, represent the sword. I was like, okay. That fight right there was tight. Luffy ends up chasing this dude off to the wayside into the forest and shit, right? And then as he's going through there, fucking the rest of the crew, fucking ZORO, Sanji, Robin, you know what I'm saying? Usopp. These cats is running into this big ass goddamn ogre, which is supposedly Luffy and everything, which is Oz and shit. But actually, I do want to say before that, Usopp had this quarrel with that one chick that can manipulate those negative ghosts, and I thought that shit was hilarious. How he was just like, I'm already negative. I was rolling. I was like, okay. But he went through that whole ordeal. That was funny. Usopp handled his business. He held it down. It was looking great for a second there, but he held it down. Nami actually lightning bolts the fuck out of that one dude because Sanji already took it to his limit and shit. Because she comes back from consciousness and goes, damn, that lightning bolt, son. But anyways, all of them were fighting fucking Luffy's shadow and everything, and this Oz, big ass troll, ogre, giant motherfucker, and shit was looking bad. But you know, they were holding their own. They were doing their thing. This man, Luffy, is fucking chasing down this warlord dude, man, all through the forest and everything. And he runs into these guys, to these people that's been there for a long time, man. All they want to do is be like normal humans again. So they're like, look, we captured all these shadows, and we want to give you all these shadows because we believe that you have the ability to shit on motherfuckers. So I was like, okay. So they gave Luffy all these cats. It was like 100 dudes, 100 shadows, 100 skills, 100 everything. You know what I'm saying? Luffy just got beast mode on him, yo. I was like, damn, Luffy looking like King Kong in this bitch. Man, shit was looking great for the other fucking Straw Hats, yo. He came in the last second, saved Usopp and Nami, and then Luffy proceeded to put in work. Put in work. Like it was nothing. I was like, damn! He was hitting him like this dude stopped Oz's. Alright, he stopped his fucking shadows, motherfucker, the big ass giant. He stopped his shit with one hand. He just said, and then he stopped that shit and proceeded to lay in on his candy, bitch, ass, like it was nothing. I was like, get hype. Get into that shit, yo. And then they thought he put in the dealing on him. Shit, yeah. Hit him with that gat. No, hit him with the storm, yo. Hit him with the storm. Just, oh, that shit was nice, yo. Now I was like, it's done. Everybody started cheering. Luffy lost all the shadows and everything. Next thing we know, this big ass ogre, the Oz motherfucker, getting back up and everything. The Straw Hat's like, okay, you know what? We got one last wind on us. Let's get up. Let's handle this dude. Luffy gets up, goes into that third gear, son. That third gear, son. Pussy, work on him. Straight breaks his spinal cord and all, yo. And he's just out for the count. And then next thing you know, man, that Mariah dude, whatever the fuck his name is, the goddamn warlord dude. Like, the reason I don't remember his name because I thought he was a bitch, okay? He didn't really do no fighting himself. He goes ahead and lets little minions do everything. Fuck that dude. Alright, fuck that dude. But he gets back up and he starts taking like, he took like 1,000 fucking shadows in. Like everybody's shit that was on the goddamn island pretty much. And he became gargantuan, just huge. But like he took in so much that he couldn't really handle it. So Luffy just went into that second gear and put in work. And I was like, okay, gear. Oh, yo! And then he just went, yeah, yo, he just fucking jet streamed his ass like twice. This dude let go of all the fucking shadows and everything. This shit was just dope. And then everybody got their shadows in time, in the nick of time, thankfully, because some motherfuckers was disintegrating, for real. I was like, oh shit. But then, woo! Okay, let's go! This dude, what's his name? Bartholomew fucking Kuma or whatever comes out of the woodwork, bro. And then actually Nami, after her situation, she runs into this dude. Alright? And as she witnesses his power and shit, but she doesn't have a chance to tell everybody while they're fighting Oz and everything what the deal is, right? Then he comes out afterwards, after fucking that Mariah motherfucker dude, whatever the fuck, Mao, whatever the heck her name is, and the Oz dude's done, defeated. And she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I hadn't had a chance to. There's another warlord here, son. This dude's a beast! Oh my god, yo! This dude puts in work easily, yo. This dude makes like this a big ass fucking bomb out of compressed air and shit. And he's like, look, give me the head of the Straw Hat and I'll let y'all go, whatever. Then they're like, never! This dude goes, boo! That shit just fucking creates a shockwave of epic proportions, yo! It just shits on every fucking living entity around, yo! And then motherfuckers, yo, and then he's just sitting there like, alright. Then he goes around, and then he looks for the Straw Hat, he finds the Straw Hat, he finds Luffy. He's like, okay. Then as soon as he's about to get Luffy, yo, as soon as he's about to get this nigga, that man ZORO come out of woodwork, yo, and he's like, ah! I was like, wow, yo, that man's a beast. That shit was sick. And then he was ready to go in. That man ZORO's on his last limb, and then he was like, look, man, we found out that he was like this pacifist or some shit like that, some type of cyborg. Created by Dr. Vegapunk and everything, and Zoro was like, look, take my head for Luffy's, it's the least I can do, whatever, you know. Then Sanji gets up, he's like, shit, man, take mine, you know what I'm saying, tell the others that I did yada yada, give them my best and everything. Zoro knocks him out and he's like, look, take mine, you know what I'm saying. And then this dude Kuma, he's seeing this shit, he's like, damn, yo, this dude got some good crewmates, got some good friends. He's like, you know what, alright, that's what I'm gonna do for you. Man, he takes all the pain and anguish that Luffy took during that battle against these motherfuckers and puts it into this compressed fucking air and shit, whatever the fuck it is. And he's like, look, have a taste. Zoro takes that shit. He's like, ah, shit. He fucking ate that shit, yo. I was like, damn. He was like, look, let me do this somewhere else. He takes it somewhere else, lets him eat that shit. They all wake up. Luffy's feeling fine and shit. That man Zoro just standing there like this. Yo, blood just going on. He's like, ain't nothing happened. ain't nothing happened. That was a fucking monster, yo. I was like, okay, now this is One Piece.